Hi friends, it's Gwen. Today I wanted to do a tag, but I also wanted to tell you some really exciting news. So let's get started. The exciting news is yesterday I was driving a different route than I usually take, and lo and behold, what do I see? A Books-A-Million. Shocked and excited totally at the same time. I did have to drive past it, which was so sad because I had to get to my destination. But on the way home, of course, I was able to stop by, and I'm so excited. I didn't know that there was one there, and it is a new shop in a new shopping center, so I don't know when they added the Books-A-Million, if that was the original plan or anything. Point being, I have a Books-A-Million now. I used to shop at Books-A-Million a lot when I lived in Florida. Well, not really Florida. When I lived in Oklahoma, I shopped there a lot, and I loved it, and I loved Joe Muggs, and so I've basically been surviving on the internet, like Amazon and Book Outlet, my local Barnes & Noble, which I love. We have one indie bookstore. It's called Prince Books, and it is located in Norfolk, Virginia, and it's the cutest little indie bookstore, and I absolutely love shopping there, but their selection is very small. It is a very small store, and it does have a cafe attached to it. It just has that indie bookstore vibe, so I really like that, and I do support buying locally, but at the same time, it's not a huge selection. So I usually end up going to Barnes & Noble or ordering off the internet. So to see another bookstore, Books-A-Million of all things there, I was so excited. So I stopped in, and of course I had to pick up their monthly little magazine called Book Page, and I think they put this out monthly. This is the November one, but I love this because it has author interviews inside, and it has book reviews, and it just has like things that that are for sale in their store, like these cute little book totes and things like that. So I had to pick this up because it has articles and stuff like that to read too. So got that, and then I picked up two things as well. I picked up non-book related object, and that is the Salted Caramel Yankee Candle, and it smells so good. I got this to replace my Bath & Body Works candle, the Salted Caramel Corn candle. It was my favorite. It is my favorite from Bath & Body Works, but they have switched over to their winter collection, so they no longer have the fall. I did buy one book. I'm trying to resist the urge to buy every single book that I want because I know Christmas is right around the corner. But I had to buy one, and I picked up Cress from the Lunar Chronicles. I have read the first two books, and this is the third one, and there will be one more book in the series, and that is Winter, and that will be, following Snow White. And this one, of course, introduces Rapunzel. Long blonde hair. Not quite Rapunzel length, but I'm getting there. Anyway, so I was really excited to pick this up, and it was the last copy in the store, so I was like, snatched it off the shelf. So those are the things that I got at Books-A-Million. And now for the book tag. Today I'm going to be doing the cake book tag. I don't know who originally created this because I actually didn't find it on BookTube or YouTube. I found it on a blog that I read, and I thought the questions, it was only 7 questions, and they were pretty simple, and I was able to choose books for each of them. So let's get started. The first ingredient is flour, a book that was a little bit slow to start off, but that really picked up as it went along. And for that one, I picked up Thanks for the Memories by Cecilia Ahern. I read this over the summer, and it was a little bit hard to get into in the very beginning because I didn't know the direction the book was taking, but as I read it, I fell into the story, and it was a cute little story. So the next ingredient is margarine, a book that had a really rich and great plot, and I had to pick Mary Pearson's The Kiss of Deception. It was another book that I read over the summer, and it was told from multiple perspectives. But the plot is a princess runs away on her wedding day. She stops in this town, and the prince goes after her and an assassin is after her and you don't know who is who, but it's basically the princess running away and these guys track her down and you're trying to figure out who is who and what their motives are, and I just loved it. I can't wait for the next one. The third ingredient, Eggs, a book that you thought was going to be bad but actually turned out quite enjoyable. I don't usually buy books that I think are going to be bad, so I'm unsure how they meant that question. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to choose a book that I thought was going to be good, and it turned out to be bad. So I picked Blacklight, and this is by the writers of the Saw franchise. I've talked about this before in a previous video, my critical reviews, and then I included this in there in that video as well. I was really excited that the writers came out with the writers of the Saw franchise came out with a book, but it turned out to be a complete flop for me. It was not scary. I could not understand the plot or even a reason for writing this book. The characters were underdeveloped, and it could have possibly been better as a movie. The next book is Sugar, a sugary sweet book. And for that, I chose Sweethearts by Sarah Zarr, and I read this over the summer as well. This is about two childhood friends, Jennifer and Cameron, and they're kind of social outcasts at their school, but they're best friends and they always stick together. And just when they might be forming a relationship or a closer bond, Cameron ends up disappearing out of nowhere and she doesn't know what happened to him. It turns off he was like shipped off basically, and he comes back years later. They're like in high school and he's the hot guy at the school, and it's just super cute, and they kind of reconnect. And I don't know, the sugar cookie on the front, it's just so plain, but it's so cute. So Sugar. The next ingredient in the cake is the icing, and that is a book that covered every single element that you enjoy about a book. And for this, I don't have the physical copy of the book, but I'm choosing A Girl Called Malice by Aurelia Roll. And I choose this book because the main character, Alice / Malice, is kind of like a dual personality. As Alice, she's shy and reserved and she acts one way, and then as Malice, she's more of a badass, like doesn't take crap from anybody, but she puts up a bunch of walls and is more guarded with her feelings. And it has romance and friendship and family and turmoil, and it has a lot of crazy bits in it. And I recently read that book and I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to read the other books by the author as well. She was very gracious and tweeted me about my review because she really liked it. And again, I can't say enough about that book. It really just had everything that I was looking for in a book. So I really lucked out with that one. The next ingredient on our cake is Sprinkles, and that is a book series that you can kind of turn to for a little pick-me-up when you're feeling down. For that, I did not choose a series. I chose an author, and that author is, can you guess? You should be able to guess by now. Giving you a minute. That's right, Rainbow Rowell. Her books are amazing. Every single one is just a completely different story, and it just, her writing is excellent. Her character development is excellent. The visuals, the plot, everything is just spot on. If I could be a writer, this is the type of writer that I would like to be. What I've done is I've bought all her books, I have them, and then I end up reading them after I've read like several mediocre books. And then I'm like, you know what? I've got to break the cycle. Rainbow Rowell, let's do this. And I just love it. Love it. She's amazing. And the last ingredient of our cake is the cherry on top, of course, which is your favorite book this year so far. And it's kind of hard to choose an absolute favorite, but I'm going to show one, and that is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. Yes, I know, I'm behind on reading this book, and Never Fade. I do have the new one, In the Afterlight, which is waiting for me, and I can't wait to read it. I'm currently reading Never Fade, and I loved this book. But that is not the only book that I have loved this year. All of the books that I am listing, I have given 5 stars to, and they are well deserved. The Darkest Minds, of course, A Girl Called Malice, Doom Boy, which is a graphic novel, and the artwork is amazing. Landline by Rainbow Rowell got 5 stars. Fangirl got 5 stars. That's also by Rainbow Rowell. The Kiss of Deception, which I've also mentioned. Eleanor Park, also Rainbow Rowell, surprise. Looking for Alaska by John Green got 5 stars from me. And Catching Fire, of course, from Suzanne Collins. Yes, I know, I just read that this year. I'm behind on reading that too, surprise. But that also got 5 stars from me. All of those books, if you haven't read them, I highly, 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 highly recommend that you go out and you pick them up and give them a read. Of course, The Darkest Minds is a series. The Girl Called Malice is a standalone. Doom Boy is a standalone. Landline, Fangirl is are standalones. The Kiss of Deception, there's more story to come. Eleanor Park is a standalone. Looking for Alaska is a standalone. And Catching Fire, of course, is the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy. So those are definitely some books that if you have not read, I would check out. They all were amazing for different reasons. Well, that's all I have time for today. I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed this tag, and if you'd like to do the tag, just go ahead and do it. I'm not going to tag anybody because I haven't really looked if anybody's even done it on BookTube, but take a moment and hit the subscribe button to see more tags, more reviews, and more book talks with me. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!